watching the Tish 21.
What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having another amazing day right now, and we're just going for a little drive to drop off my payment to Dyna Motorsports, because of course, you know, we had them do a lot of work on the car, so I gotta clear that up. So I'm heading down there right now. God, guys, I love this car. I can't tell you how much I love this car. So one of the craziest things I found out the other day, guys, you wouldn't believe this, but somehow, since we put this motor back in with the new cam, the driver's side cam sensor has been disconnected. I don't know how it didn't come up in the tune, but apparently, according to my tuner Tony, the Link ECU mainly watches the passenger side cam sensor to manage the entire timing, and the driver's side is used just for control. So like, I don't know how that ties in, but essentially the car is still driving the same, more or less, but now at least the engine can see the cam timing on the actual driver's side, I guess. So when you're driving a car of this caliber, guys, you need to know what's on the road in front of you, where there's potholes, where there's dips in the road. You got to know the roads where you're driving on, because you can be on boost, full load, full power, and then all of a sudden you just hit a really disgusting dip in the road. It can offset the chassis, offset the suspension incredibly, and you can lose control of your car. We have a huge outage here, basically like our AT&T for you guys. It's like our Roger, we call it Rogers, complete outage. So there's no cell coverage anywhere in the city right now. So I don't even know why I'm running Waze. I just realized I have no data.
Surprise, motherfucker.
hit. So it's making like 700 right now. So right now it's just 7. You too, man. What's going on, guys? So we're just here at Dynamo Sports again to get some E85 because we're gonna pump it in this G35 right now and get it up to 900 wheel and go for some pulls and some rips and just have some overall fun and see how it goes. We're also gonna be linking up with one of my other buddies, Taras, who has a twin turbo built motor G35. He's just in the process of getting it tuned, so I don't think he's making full power as of yet, but it's supposed to be also like anywhere from 700 to 800 wheel when it's finished as well. But I think he's around like 600 wheel right now. One of the main things I wanted to get Tony to take care of on the car right now is that I noticed we had some lean spots that he didn't see on the dyno, because these are one sometimes you only see these things when you're on the road street tuning. So I had him hop in the car with me and we went for a little cruise, and he was able to get those lean spots tuned out around like 2800 RPM, where, you know, when you're cruising on the highway or cruising on the street and the car was just choking up a little bit. So we got that taken care of now. Also, he added a little bit of fuel on the low end, so I find it's actually a lot nicer to like just take off the line now a little bit. One thing I noticed is the clutch is still having like a little bit of like a heat issue that you guys saw in the previous videos as well. So what we're going to be doing with that is, I remembered all of a sudden we had a upgraded master cylinder, and ever since I upgraded the master cylinder from stock to that tilt-in one, I've been having this issue. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to put it back to stock, and hopefully that'll take care of the issue, because I never had any issues. We were packing gates like crazy on the stock master cylinder, so hopefully we can go back to that. I'm hoping it's going to hook up nicely on this high power map. As you guys know, the car is still not where I want it to be in the mid-range. Like, in the end of the day, with these big cams, the car just wants to make power the top end, and that top end, although the power is there, guys, like everyone's like, oh, you know, yeah, you made a lot of power, the car must be fast. Just because it made a lot of power on the dyno, a lot of times these cars that make a lot of power on the dyno are dyno queens, right? You want the car to have as much power as possible under the curve, because that's what makes a fast car, right? And right now we lost a lot of that power under the curve by switching to these JWT C9 cams. The old C8 cams still did more work. However, the problem with the C8 cams we found on our setup was that it used to die off way too hard at the top end. These don't die off at the top end. They keep making power really quite nicely. So we're gonna see how it does right now. 60 to 130 is still my goal, to get that car as fast as possible, back in the fives hopefully, and I'm sure I'll eventually get it there. We might have to do work on the diff or something like that to get it there, but right now, even if we don't do work on the diff and we leave the stock diff, I may end up just biting the bullet, guys, and going back to the stock cam to get where I, get it to where I want it to be and get it to where it was before. Because at the end of the day, that was the faster car as far as 60 to 130 is concerned. However, I'm a strong believer that this car right now is faster from like 100 mile an hour to like, 200 mile an hour. This setup is faster. So this is more of a top end car now, whereas the old setup car was more of a mid-range or city car. So it's kind of like, what do you really want, right? It's hard to get best of both worlds, but I think the old setup had enough top end that I could live with it. It made the car so much nicer. You could be in 5th or 6th gear on the highway and just like feed it to the throttle, and it used to pull really nice. So we may go back, or we may switch the diff. I think I'm gonna grab another 3.5 final drive stock differential and just toss it in, and we're gonna do some draggy pulls and see which is actually better, and that way we can compare it. So we're definitely gonna do that very soon, guys. So hopefully you guys are subscribed and you're following me through with this build. I know you guys are probably already dying to see me race a bunch of cars, and I want this car to be properly set up, running good before I go and just start racing people. Because then you know how it goes. People just go, oh, I gapped it, I gapped this, I gapped that. But like, until I have the car running where it used to be or where it needs to be, small changes can make the car slower or faster. There's so much going on with a build like this, guys. You have so many little things that come together, and if any one of those things is causing some kind of problem, it might run slower, right? So these are the kind of things you just got to figure out. So let's get some E85 in this bitch and let's hit the road. All right, boys, so we got E64 in there right now, which I believe is the right range, but I think we're supposed to be like E40 to E50, so we're gonna have to pump some pump gas in there to level it out, and we got enough gas to go. So let's hit the road. Buddy. Buddy. Welcome.
What's up? I need a shirt.
Yo, my guy's back. Here we go. You guys have been waiting to see this for quite a while. If you guys remember the early videos of when you just got it. Yo, look at this. Twin turbo, built motor, on road. About 600 right now. He's gonna be making about 800 very soon on the final tune. We're gonna take it for a rip in a little bit. Shut this thing down for a second. God damn. All right, guys, so we're here at a coin car wash, and what's going on today is we're gonna get this car finally cut, polished, and ceramic coated. I know you guys have been probably waiting and looking at these swirls for far too long, so we're gonna get that finally taken care of. The car is just a little dirty right now, but we're gonna go ahead and wash it and then leave it over at my boy Teras's house so he can get working on it, because he's quite talented when it comes to this kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna let it cool off right now. 1 second. There we go. So just gonna let it cool off for now, and while we wait for him to come over, and I'm just gonna go over some of those things with you guys. That's what's going on right now, just to give you a little bit of an update. So we've been trying to push some 60 to 130s, trying to see how fast we can get it to go. Obviously, as you guys know, we're trying to beat that old time of 5.83. It's still coming to be really hard for me for this car. I don't know what it is right now, but this car just doesn't seem to want to pull as it should. Bottom line right now, I think it's just the cams, guys. Like, there's nothing we can do. We're down 300 wheel torque on these cams from the old cams around the 4K RPM mark. I just can't get the car to move at 4K in third gear. And if we just go from the lower gear, it just either spins and then we have to do the 2-3 shift. It's just a waste of time, right? So we need to figure something out, and I'm gonna start by changing the diff. So I'm looking for a 3.5 VLSD right now. We're gonna swap it in and see if that does it, because the 3.3 final drive right now is just making the gears really long, and it was really good for the old power band, but it's just not cutting it for this power band, guys. So it's just gonna be what I have to do to get this thing to be faster. Don't get me wrong, guys, like, the car is stupid fast. Like, for most of you guys who are watching this video who come from like NA days of G35 or even supercharged time or even like stock block turbo, this car is a rocket. Don't get me wrong, I'm in love with it. It's great to drive, but I'm trying to compete at a different level right now, where it's like, you know, you want to be in that like 5-second club of 60 to 130 where I was already, in fact. So I'm just trying to get the car right back there, and I'll be happy with that. I don't need anything crazy. I don't need 1,000 horsepower, but I just want that. That's my kind of main goal right now. I can tell you guys right now, one way or another, I'm gonna get this car back in the 5s, no matter what I do, whether it is something to do with the differential or if it's pulling the cams out of the motor and putting my old cams back in the car to get this thing back where it needs to be. I think even with the old cams and a 3.5 gear, I think we should be easily in the friggin' 5s all day long at least. As for the tranny shifting issue, I just did a couple passes right now and it's banging the gear into 3/4, no problem at all. So what it has to do with that, I noticed, is like, as long as you let the car sit for a little bit and let it cool down before you go for a pass, and then you can pack 3 to 4 power shift, no problem. It takes it all day long, at least for a couple times before it gets all hot and bothered, right? So that was the main thing I was noticing. We were doing back-to-back pulls previously, and that's when the clutch was having that issue. I'm still gonna switch back to the stock master cylinder and hopefully that'll correct it. So one of the things, guys, guys, we're definitely gonna get this car back up to that speed, but right now the main concern is the paint. And as you can see, guys, obviously it's dirty partly, but the rest of it, I don't know if you guys can see it in this lighting, but there's a crazy amount of swirls in this paint. So we're hoping to have my boy Taras fix that right now. So he's on his way, and we'll get this thing a clean wash, and then he's gonna do a 2-stage paint correction with a ceramic coating on. I can't wait to see how this thing is gonna look. I can't wait to see the blue pop out of what you see right now. Like, I know you guys can see the blue right now. These kind of lights always hit really nice, but this is kind of still faded, and it's like this just a bunch of haze that the blue is trying to peek out through. And you can even see that the bumper's been painted after the fact, and you can see the paint difference in the bumper there. So we're hoping that once he details this, it'll match that. And then the last thing I need to do, and I have it sitting at home a clean, is this thing right here to put this back on. He just pulled up in his not his G35 twin turbo, but B8.5 Audi S4. How much power is this making right now? Huh? How much power you got in this?
Not enough.
Not enough? It's around like 500 wheel, 450, 500. This thing's really fast. Probably the fastest B8.5 S4 in the city right now, as far as I'm aware. That's nasty. See, we need that blue to look like that blue when it's clean, of course. But look at the clarity there. Holy shit! Hopefully he can bring my paint back to that glory.
Buddy, don't be revealing any secrets. You and your video camera.
We're gonna bring that paint back.
We're gonna bring it back.
All right.
It's dirty.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
An example. Filming it. Okay, never mind the straight scratches. You see these scratches over here? It looks like somebody was like trying to like.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Man. So we're just gonna do a little show of what the hood looks like right now.
This guy with his camera, a little show. Very possible. I don't think you've ever corrected it.
Yeah, it's been corrected one time.
The longest time out of it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos of the G and AMG. I also drop videos of all kinds of other epic builds that you do not want to miss. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell with the notification so you know exactly when I drop a video. See you next time.